just couldn't avoid New England long enough, huh? Go to New York for a couple days, get the moving going, and you're like, nope, gotta be in Connecticut. Then going back to Boston for a couple of days.
I'll always get my my fix.
Exactly, here and there. It was very funny a couple weeks ago when I was like, oh my god, like, have a great time in New York, and you were like, you'll still see me probably the same amount that you do anyways.
Probably. We
like,
see each other like once a month, every 2 months, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's about... I'm a busy man, Mr. Wallinger.
No, I know. Hey, I understand. It's hard to get into to the big, well, the smaller big city.
I was going to say, because you're in the big city.
I'm in the
now.
big city, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you're not. You're in Connecticut as we live and breathe right now.
Yeah.
So I think you owe us an explanation of what happened Tuesday night. Why are we now releasing on a Thursday, recording on a Wednesday evening?
Well, I
Spill your
went
guts.
so I went to the new apartment and I was gonna set the Wi-Fi up, and I couldn't figure it out. So that was it.
Did you solicit help from anybody?
Yeah, Verizon, and I think because it was earlier than the date I had put in, and they were like, "Well, can't do anything about it."
No. With the date?
Yeah, like it's scheduled to start next week, and they were like, "We can't move it up." So,
which you would think in 2024 they'd be able to be like, But
I didn't have the fight in me though. I wasn't ready to go to war for it. I'm sorry.
You don't have that customer service dog.
I mean, sometimes I do, but I didn't feel. When I feel slighted, I do, but I didn't. This was my fault, so.
Shot yourself in the foot. Between that and Liam being across the entire Atlantic Ocean in Ireland.
Orland.
That wasn't all right. That was okay.
Orland. Yeah, he's scouting for the POL studio over there.
Yes.
That's where we're gonna go.
There might be an avenue for me to get my Irish citizenship. I think I should have done when my granddad was still alive. He was off the boat, but...
Does that get you deals on real estate for the POL studio?
It's a really good question. Not even
it
knowing... It
might. Well, that's like a thing in Bermuda? Or the Bahamas? One of them.
My granddad's not from Bermuda. So
no, but one of them you can only buy land if you're from there. If you have, like, if it's in your blood.
Yeah, this real estate shit is in your blood. You better be ready to die.
I think it's Michael Douglas. Is that who I'm thinking of? Bermuda. It's Bermuda. Yeah, you can only buy like land and real estate in Bermuda if you are Bermudan.
Was Kirk Douglas from Bermuda, and I don't know this?
So, Fitz, that's a really good question. I don't know the exact.
Talking about this beats talking.
His mother was from Bermuda.
Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that.
His mother being Diana Dill.
Dill, nice. Again, this beats talking about the Colorado series or the Dodgers series,
or the Dodgers for that matter. Yeah. Do you have an interest in real estate? I'm not a real estate guy.
Not particularly. No, I have friends who do, and they talk about it. Just nod and politely smile. I know one specific friend is laughing as I mention that because I hear all about their real estate exploits and some of the terms specifically. I'm like, I get like a 70% understanding of it, but
yeah.
I still
for 20-somethings, it doesn't matter. Nobody's getting a house.
It won't matter when I'm a 40-something.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
the way this is going. No, that's Is It Over? By the way, aka Jake, the NYC, soon to be NYC resident. I am Jonathan Herrera, aka Fitz. As we mentioned, Liam is out, but it's still Pod on Lansdowne, one way or the other. I'm here with my best friend of the week. Liam has a chance, I suppose, next week to reclaim that spot, but he falls down the power rankings in my book. Jake is number one in my book for this week. We know who's also not number one in my book this week, Jake. The Boston Red Sox baseball club.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty easy. That wasn't my best segue I've ever had, but I had to think of something.
Yeah, I guess we had to get to them eventually, huh?
A week ago at this time, we were so happy at the halvesies, right? You know, the champagne was a-flowing, the awards were passed out. Jarren Duran won All-Star Game MVP a week and change ago. You know?
We really did have everything. It makes you appreciate the good old days. You know, I wish. What's the line from The Office, Fitz? I wish you knew you were in the good old days
before you left them.
Before you left them.
That's right. That's right. Two very easily winnable games in LA, down the tubes for a sweep at the hand of the Dodgers. In addition to two, the loss Wednesday is just one of those games you just kind of throw your hands up and say whatever. Monday was far more frustrating. Far more frustrating that
yes,
back
I
and
agree.
forth topsy-turvy.
Well, I mean, frankly, both are terrible because the Rockies fucking stink. I mean, it's not, you know, you should beat bad teams. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, the worst team can beat the best team once in a 3-game series. It happens. That's baseball over the course of a 162-game season. And Wednesday, you just kind of, again, throw your hands up and say, you know what? Well, in the context of this trip, you don't necessarily say that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, well, Fitz, do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
We must exist in the context.
Yeah, we have to exist in the context, and in the context, I would say, that Wednesday win was or the Wednesday loss was horrible. We have to win that game.
Losing by a football score. Yeah, I suppose you're right in that regard. In a vacuum, you know, you just you can chalk it up to it's just baseball. But yeah, for that to be the rubber game is a tough look. But the Monday game was absurdly frustrating. But in any event here, I wanted to start off because with your screen name now, you say, "Is it over?" ? And the thing is,
no, I mean, I don't.
It's interesting that you have the question mark there, because after Monday's game, I think it was more of an explanation point in saying it is over. You were pretty adamant that it was, you know, after the sweep at Chavez Ravine, which I understand, and that tough loss, you were pretty dead set on like this is not good. Don't buy at the deadline. I wanted to start there. I wanted to talk about this because I knew it was going to be some me and you one-on-one time. Where do you stand now as we have the travel day and then a massive series at Fenway over the weekend?
Yeah. So, I mean, what a great time for the slump buster Yankees to come into town. God, we need it. But
well, the bad thing is that you missed Cole, because I think Cole went on Wednesday.
Okay.
So
but that's partially a joke, but also it's really not. First, you know, recent history, the Red Sox have manhandled the Yankees even when we're a pretty bad team, and you know, it's just something about it. I don't know, but good timing on that front. However, is it over? No, I don't think it is. But have I soured? I don't know if I've it's just the flaws of the team are very apparent. And I'm not sure a trade deadline is enough to fix them, if that. But even that being said, I don't want to say it's over. But I don't think I don't think you can turn them into real contenders in the next 7 days, whatever it is.
So what are those major flaws that
I mean, the pitching depth is cataclysmic right now. They can't get outs late in game. And that's not, I mean, the roster actually was built well enough. I have to say, I mean, two starting pitchers got season-ending injuries. 2 guys from the pen are hurt right now. It adds up. And then the fact that, you know, Pivetta either gives you a shutout or gets blown to smithereens. That
50-50 shot for a shutout, though. That's a pretty good odds.
Yeah, I know it is.
Right?
Well, I was thinking today how funny it is that, like, a 4.5 ERA, that could be a guy that goes out every single day and gives you a quality start, or it can be Nick Pivetta where you get a 7-inning shutout and then you get blown out for like 9 runs the next day. That's still a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah, just a different road to get there.
Yeah.
Now I will say, you mentioned the pitching depth being banged up as as it is, but Criswell is back. Criswell gave you a very nice start on Tuesday.
He did.
Slayton,
he's my number 5 starter. I sorry if that offends.
We've mentioned that.
Yeah.
Slayton and Kenley will be back in the mix, so that's 2 extra bullpen arms.
What is Slayton? I think I fully missed when he went on the IL. What happened?
I don't even know specifically right off the top of my head. I could try to look at. See, this is where we need this is where we need Liam to.
No, here I got it.
Look it up.
I got it. It was inflammation, right elbow inflammation, which I don't know about that.
Maybe he won't come back into them. Maybe that's TJ.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I was gonna. You sounded pretty. Oh, hey, he's come right back. I mean, it's been 15 days today, actually. So.
Any indication on his word now that
No, I don't think we've heard. I don't think we've heard. Oh, he's playing catch on Saturday.
I think he'll be okay. Everything I've seen a couple things saying like wait for Slayton to come back and for Kenley to come back, and then hopefully you get Liam Hendricks in the mix there. That can add a little bit to that depth. You needed, even if you went 5-1 on this stretch on the West Coast out of the All-Star break, right? You still knew that you needed some depth for the rotation, so that doesn't change, and you have parts of the bullpen that are, in the ranks. Hopefully going to be back in the somewhat near future, right? You also know, even if they went on a 5-1 run, that you needed a right-handed bat and potentially something to supplement the middle infield. That doesn't change with a 1-5 road trip, right? So I understand your point that you're not going to be able to turn this team into gangbusters at next week's deadline. Which, do we know what is it? The 31st. So,
I think so.
A week from today, as we record this Wednesday evening. So you're not going to turn this team into a top 5 team in the league within the next week. And short of you giving
excuse me, it's Tuesday. Excuse me.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday, bro. That'll work out perfectly for a Wednesday release, and then we can kind of react to
it's Tuesday at 6
everything
p.m.
that happens. Right? So, in any event, you're not going to be able to turn this team into a top 5 team, and short of you giving up, someone within the big 3, for example, of the prospects, you're not going to get, the most coveted prizes of the trade deadline.
Who even is that this year?
Skubal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Skubal. And you can squint and make an argument for Crochet as well, but
I read today
Skubal
he's
is
probably
far
not
better.
getting moved. That's what I read
Crochet?
today. Yeah.
That's interesting. I actually think it should be the other way around. I think Detroit should think about keeping Skubal.
I agree.
And then Crochet easily. Because Crochet's good. Crochet's been awesome this year. I don't want to take that away from him. Skubal's probably the best pitcher in baseball this year and could be very good for quite some time. Crazy
agree.
swing and miss stuff. He's nasty. And Detroit's not an awful team. I think they're just a 2 or 3 games short of 500 right now. Whereas the White Sox are a complete dumpster fire and need any sort of help that they can get. The point is that this 1-5 stretch, does not change the main things that the team needs at the deadline. Read as a starting pitcher, right-handed bat, potentially some help up the middle. And B, it still doesn't take away of the positive that's happened, the stretch that's been for the past 2 months. We keep speaking of the White Sox. We keep talking about that 2-2 White Sox series in mid-June. That run that's been happening as of late, that isn't diminished based on a 1-5 run. In a 162 game season, stretches like this happen. It's annoying. It's frustrating when you get swept when you easily could have won 2 or 3 against one of the better teams in baseball out west in LA. Of course, that's annoying. And then when you drop 2 or 3 to the Rockies, who are one of the worst teams in baseball, even though it's on the road, of course that's frustrating. This team, as many people have said before, and Will Fleming has always mentioned this on the EEI broadcasts, he always goes, Joe, this team is just so resilient, and they always bounce back. that's my Will Fleming impression. Shout out Will Fleming. But it's true. This team has always been able to chumbawamba themselves. They get knocked down, but they get back up again. So shake it off going into this weekend. Be motivated to go against a Yankees team that you've played well against. And even if that goes belly up, what's the furthest you're going to be outside of the wild card? 4.5? That's not great. But you could still squint and see that you're able to. You could still make up ground there. You beat Kansas City 2-3. Minnesota's been not playing so great as of late. They're 4-6 in their last 10 as I'm looking at. I mean, so are we.
Seattle stink. That team.
Seattle's kind of fallen off. Tampa has not been at any They've
always
never been
scare me.
convincing
They
all
always
year.
scare me, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, you never count them out until they're completely dead on the ground. But the rest of the teams below Seattle, Tampa, Detroit, Texas, Toronto, they don't inspire. So even if you only take one of these three against the Yankees, I still think you go into the deadline with the semblance that you want to bolster the roster. Don't push a ton of chips into the middle like we've been mentioning. But Breslow mentioned it today after Wednesday's game, that their intent is to improve the roster. You can read that however you may. Do they do a buy and sell kind of thing? I don't know. But I guess we'll see. Even though this has been a tough couple of games, they should still go in with their heads held high with the intent of trying to give this a run, trying to kickstart this renaissance of Red Sox baseball.
I hate this. I'm sick to my stomach saying this out loud. I hate it. I feel awful. I really do think they should do the buy and sell thing.
So for months we've been saying like, oh my God, pick one side or the other.
I know.
Give us your reasoning.
You want to go to break first?
No, we got a couple minutes.
All right. I just think the rentals on the team, I think, could get you enough. Like, I think. First of all, I'm sick of Nick Pivetta. So if you could get something for him, that'd be great. And then Kenley is the same thing.
Detract from the already thin pitching staff that you had mentioned by trading.
Well, no, because you gotta have him coming in. You gotta have guys coming in on the other end.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving you time.
But Tyler O'Neill, man, I think some team would give you a really good prospect for him. I really do. He's got 4 bombs since the break. That's not nothing. And
you would take away other right-handed power.
Oh, this is what I'm saying. It
depends on what comes in, right?
Obviously. I don't know, man. Selling at the deadline, you get excited. It's always a seller's market.
I don't.
Well, no, you know what I mean. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Jake's like, ooh, I can't wait to lower the luxury tax.
The one fucking time Heim actually sold on a player, he fucking brought in Willier for 2 months of Christian Vasquez. Like, that's the kind of shit that happens.
When they were already, were they completely dead in the water at that time?
No, we were like 4 games over 500.
That was good. It was a good piece of shrewd business in that sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that, if you, selling can set you up for a decade if you do it right. I mean, you have to do it right, of course.
Yeah. And I also think, not for nothing, like 2024 Tyler O'Neill is more valuable than 2022 Christian Vasquez.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think. You're saying the other way. Like,
I'm going the other way on it. Yes. Yeah. Horseshoe theory on this. Yeah.
I know.
I'm just throwing
it's
that
tough.
out there.
I don't envy Craig. I think this is actually a harder position than the last 2 years that Heim had. Because let me explain myself. Because it's now abundantly clear that the cavalry is partially here and it's coming and it's next year, unless they all tear their ACLs, as far as
next
the
week,
prospects.
spot on lands down. Teal, Anthony, and Meyer, all ACL. Their knees have gone kablooey.
But I mean, it's like that. Like that's they're here next year. That's happening. So
in some capacity, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to mortgage the future, and it's so close you can taste it. I'm licking my chops.
ASMR and Lansdowne.
But this team also is better than the last 2 years. So it's like it's really 22 and 23, but amplified both ways, which is brutal for Craig. However, the only thing that is positive compared to at least 22 is that I also don't think any of the of our own rentals, Kenley, O'Neill, Chris Martin, I don't even know what that might be curtains for him. I have no idea where we're at with that. And Pivetta, is that I don't think any of those are like high stakes free agents. For like in 22, Xander and JD were free agents, and they had to.
Pivetta's as good as Giolito. I think just goes into that role in 25. Essentially,
100%.
Different pitchers, I understand that, but in terms of the facility of giving you at least like 150 innings or so of some hopefully low.
Kenley's obviously gone. I mean, they're all
Henley's
gone. They're all obviously gone. Like it's not. So there's that, which makes, if you do deal them, it hurts a little. It's like a little less of a that guy got traded. Like he's doing that. But again, they're a better team, so it's really a tough position.
Like it makes the team exponentially worse. It does when you're in the mix to.
Well, I don't know about exponentially.
Kenley's been one of the best relievers in the American League.
I don't think if you trade Nick Pivetta tomorrow, the team is significantly worse in any way.
If everyone's healthy, not like a ton, but in the context of the fact that like you have like two
there you go,
pitchers
Fitz.
right now.
You're living in the context.
You're the one who thinks you just fell out of
I guess I did. I'm sorry, but I'm proud of you for living in the context.
As a proud member of the Coconut Cartel, I was glad to point that out
to
you right now. One quick note before we go to break. I understand you can't have your cake and eat it too when talking about the trade deadline, right? I don't want them to leverage.
But God damn it, I'll try.
I'm still gonna I'm still gonna try.
Yeah.
I don't want them to leverage a ton of like. I'm not even referring to like your top 5 prospects.
I think there's like a sweet spot of prospects that the Red Sox do have. That I mean, we've been saying it for a year now. Nick York is not playing for the Red Sox. I don't know,
but I wouldn't want someone who has been is solid enough of a prospect like a Nick York just to be leveraged for a strictly rental sort of a piece. I would like to see some team control coming in, even if it's just for one more year. Someone tossed around the idea of Jameson Taillon potentially being acquired from Chicago.
Yeah.
Taillon's on the books for 18 this year, next year, and 26, I believe. He doesn't wow you. Right, he's sort of, let's look at Jameson Taillon's numbers. Do we want to do that?
Yeah, you want to do the Savant? I'll tell you what who's Savant I just looked at because I'm sure we'll get to this, but James Paxton and that Savant is ugly. Whew. But I think we need him. I don't think I care. That's the problem there. I don't think I care that it's
need
ugly.
The innings. Taillon's actually got a 2.96 ERA this year, 2 WAR, 7-5, but we don't really care about the wins and losses. 1.40 ERA plus, 106 ERA plus for his career. FIP around 3.
140 ERA plus
for this year, yes. 377 FIP compared to that 296 ERA. So it's almost a full run higher that FIP, but it's still solid. A 375 FIP. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys. Career average about 8 strikeouts per 9. He's down to 7 this year. But he's a solid enough of a pitcher, and he consistently gives you innings. 154 last year, 177 in 22. He's already at 100 this year.
He's a lefty, no?
No, he is a right-handed pitcher.
Ah, fuck. All right, sorry.
It's still, but like that for $18 million, a guy who could give you even around a 4 ERA consistently enough while giving you a ton of innings in this day and age at 18 per, that's not so bad. That's not so bad, and to be able to have that. For
that's what Giolito is. Is that what Giolito's making? It's the same thing.
I
right?
don't know off the top of my head.
I want to say it's 18. I don't. It was 36.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
Yeah,
but in any event, let's take a quick break. Kind of overshot the ad when you asked me to take the ad earlier. Probably should have taken it then, but that's okay.
It's all right. Hey, that happens.
They're going to be mad when the second ad comes sooner after the first ad. My apologies to the dear listeners, but. We'll be back after this. You can't win them all, right?
That happens.
Hi, whoever's over watching. It's probably Jonah and one other person. Back in 3. We have returned to Pod on Lansdowne. Just Jake and Fitz this week. No Liam. He's enjoying the old country over in Ireland. It looks like he's having a ball, and we're happy for that.
It does.
Maybe when he's listening to this, he'll be on his red eye back over to the US of A. I don't know when he comes. Did you say Sunday he comes back?
It's after I move, because we said our goodbyes.
Give each other a little smooch goodbye thing.
A big smooch.
Just a quick pin one, but anyways, Jake and Fitz here at your service on Pod on Lansdowne. If you would like to reach out to us on Twitter, you most certainly can. The show is at Pod on Lansdowne. I am at Fitzimo Pena. Jake is at Jake Wallinger. And if you want to wish Liam, if you want to wish
Ireland a lovely unification.
Yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth, right? If you want to wish Ireland a lovely 26 plus 6 equals 1, you can tweet at Liam Fennessy _ and Liam will be able to relay the message to all of the Irish folk. If you want to do that via voicemail, I could tell Liam to log into our voicemail account, and you can send all your well wishes to the Emerald Isle. You most certainly can. Or if you just want to leave a question or comment for us via voicemail, you could do so by dialing.
Okay. 617-420-2431.
Nailed it. Don't even think about it, right?
Yep.
Just go.
Playing.
Just go, right? Because
Thank you.
that's the thing. You get the yips when
No, I do.
you start to think about it a little bit too
I do.
much.
I do.
617-420-2431. We would love to hear your call. 617-420-2431. Any
That's
specifics? Right. You know what? We didn't even do fuck with and don't fuck with. Let's talk about don't fuck with.
Well,
fuck
I
with
mean,
and don't
Jesus
fuck
Christ. I can give you fuck with two guys, Jaron Duran and Cooper Criswell.
I was going to say Duran, yes.
And don't fuck with everything else. I mean, it was an awful 5-game stretch, or 6-game stretch. It was terrible. Was there even another guy that you could point to and be like, you're pretty good these last 6 games? No.
Dom Smith pitching on Wednesday.
Tyler O'Neill hit 4 home runs.
Tyler O'Neill. I was going to say Tyler O'Neill playing well.
Dom Smith pitching is not a fuck with. Fitz, get out of here.
Connor Wong clutch home run on Monday that eventually did not lead to anything.
Yeah, so that's not. You can't fuck with a moment. It's a person. It's got to be a person. The way we've done it.
I feel like we've definitely fucked with moments in
moments.
Concepts.
All right. Well, I take that back then. But yeah. Point is, bad week of ball.
Tell you, Loku, I'm not fucking with as of late, and it's just a little bit of warning because I do appreciate him overall. Bernard Bernardino.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of been annoying, hasn't he? Just a little annoying. A little irritating.
Yeah.
As president of the Big Bernardino brand, which was formerly
that Grand Slam, that Freeman Grand Slam was rough. And then, what did he fuck up in Colorado? He fucked up something in Colorado, right?
Well, I'm looking up his recent lines right now. Bernardino, there we go. Bernard Bernardino. Today, he gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits, had 1 strikeout and 1
dump
inning
that.
pitched. He pitched an inning. He pitched a clean inning Tuesday night. 1 hit.
Okay.
3 strikeouts there. But yeah, the Dodgers 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk. Did not register a single out. Had that tough outing in New York. Just 2/3 of an inning, 2 earned runs on 2 hits. Mm-hmm. It's like I still trust him enough out of the bullpen as a lefty, and you need the lefty there, even though Boozer's done a serviceable job on his own. Right? He's been good.
I'm digging
right?
the booze mitt.
You in the bottle? That's what we can call it.
Yeah, I am. He's been solid.
You're falling off the wagon?
Yeah, but LA, he had a
You're
good...
binging?
All right, relax. He had a good inning in LA, and I think he had a good appearance in Colorado as well. I like what I see out of him. And his story is unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah, broke his fucking back.
I broke my back.
I broke my back. I know. He did though. He did.
He did. I know he did. That's why it's a timely reference to make to Iron Mike.
Yeah.
And you were doing kind of a Greg Jennings thing there, were you not?
I know. I think he broke his fucking leg.
How was he running? Look at him holding his shit.
Oh shit!
Darren Sharp.
It's Darren Sharp. That Darren Sharper part of that clip aged poorly.
Most certainly. Yeah.
Bad guy, Darren Sharper.
Fuck you, Gumby.
Fuck you, Gumby.
And then the sequel being the Marshawn Lynch Beastquake one. Darren Sharp, this one aged well. Darren Sharp, a homo dick.
Oh yeah.
Fuck man, this is for Seattle. But yeah, Bernard,
go inside the mind of a Greg Jennings. I never was able to watch Greg Jennings in a football game ever again after that.
The same
without
way you just
going right to the clip. Like
did he break his leg? He recognized it during I think it was Super Bowl Media Day. That Super Bowl before they played the Steelers.
Did he?
I believe he did, or like at some other media day or something like that.
That's beautiful.
Greg Jennings is aware and, as far as I know, embraces the put the team on my back video.
Good. What were we even talking about?
Bernardino.
Oh, Cam Boozer.
Cam Boozer
breaking his fucking back. Yeah, I've dug what I've seen out of Bailey Horn as well. I don't hate what I'm getting out of him.
You feeling a little horny?
Yeah. Here, let's do a rundown on the pen. Greg Weissert, I'm fucking done. He's not good. I'm sorry.
And made a point. It said like it feels like he's made like 100 outings this year.
I mean I think he pitched every day of the Colorado series. I think
Was that Weissert who came in and walked fucking Chris Taylor on Saturday? That was him. That made you know what? That's my don't fuck with for the week.
That precise moment.
That specific the concept.
Chris Taylor's OPS starts with 5.
And listen, Chris Taylor. I said this on Sunday to a family member of mine who likes baseball. My cousin. I'm like, Chris Taylor is going to be the guy in 10 years from now when you're naming dudes.
He was
and,
a problem.
Someone takes it, and we all go, "Oh, that's a good one."
He was good. I mean, he was a very useful player. He
Super
is
utility
fucking
guy.
horrible now. He is fucking horrible. Fitz, do you remember when I was at the Dodger game in late April and I kept posting his batting average? I had never seen a batting average so low on a scoreboard at a game. It was like .098 or something. And he went 0 for 5.
Yeah.
He went 0 for 5 the game I was at, and it kept dropping. Like, he's completely busted. I don't know what it is. Yeah, you cannot walk him. You cannot walk that man.
Right? You know what? You can't let... It was Shohei, then Will Smith hit the walk-off.
Yeah. Let Chris Taylor beat you.
Yeah, like, if Chris Taylor is the one who's able to drive in the game-winning hit, you tip your cap and say, all right, you know what? At least, we didn't die with any, guns in the bullet. You have to attack someone like that. If he beats you, he beats you. You can't let one of the best hitting catchers in baseball or the resurrection of Babe Ruth, like one of the greatest players who has ever played this sport at this point, just knowing his gravitas, you can't let him beat you. You can't. So that's what I wasn't fucking with. I was furious Saturday evening, rather. Furious.
Yeah, that was...
And I kind of kept it out of sight, out of mind until now. I gone a couple days, hadn't thought about it, and now I'm thinking about it. Fucking Chris Taylor. You can't let him beat you. Yeah,
that's horrible. I think Weisert's terrible. I know, I see what they were trying to do there, but he's awful. I'm all set with that. Who else is there?
He could be a fine guy down the line. I don't, but yeah, not when he's walking Chris Taylor. I can tell you that.
No. All right. Who else is there? Fitz? Throw me names. I think we hit most of them.
Hit a lot of them. Well, Slayton's hurt. Kelly's been.
Oh, I'm digging what I'm seeing out of Zach Kelly. Wink.
He comes and goes.
I don't know why they think he can be like a 1-inning flamethrower. I don't know where that.
He's a fine swing guy or a spot starter when you need him.
Let him eat innings. Let
him get the 6th or maybe the 7th.
We'll get to our friend Alex Cora in a moment, but
yes.
I don't know why
we're not burying the lead there.
No, I don't know why they think putting him in like the 8th inning of 1-run games is like a reasonable. I know the pen was thin, but he's not that guy. Well, he actually got out of it. He loaded the but if you recall. But I'm not really digging what I'm seeing out of him. I think that's most of them, right? Yeah. I don't know. The pen is a real mixed bag right now, which is a shame because it was gangbusters in like April and May.
I think that's the second or third time we've said gangbusters.
I like that. I love saying gangbusters.
Feels like an old 20s saying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're gangbusters. See? Yeah. This bullpen is the cat's pajamas. That's a good one. Cat's pajamas.
That's a good one. Cat's pajamas. Bee's knees.
The bee's knees, of course. Yeah, that's classic. So.
Did I fuck with anything? I said Duran. I mean, he literally is playing at like an MVP level right now.
We mentioned O'Neill.
Yeah.
No. Duran has been he has had at the very least an extra base streak, like extra base hit streak.
Yeah.
Of like however many games. He's been the catalyst for everything, and I'm so happy that he had his moment at the All-Star game and is back into our lives and playing himself into the big picture.
Yeah. And then as far as starting pitching goes, I'm fine with throwing out everything from Colorado because it's Colorado. I don't that's no place to take.
Yeah, I'm not worried about
except Pivetta because I mean that's uniquely terrible. It's like Colorado's Colorado, but then when you give up, 8 runs in 2 innings. It's
Not to brag, but I did give up. A buddy of mine texted me. I was like, "Hey, what do you have any picks for sprinkling in a little money?" And I'm not a gambler myself, but I was like, oh well, this might be okay, that might be okay. I didn't check what happened to the ones that I did potentially suggest. I was like, whatever you do not touch Nick Pivetta at Coors. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but I was like, he's going to give up at least 2 big flies here, I would say. I didn't think it was going to be, what was he charged with, 7 earned runs, I think?
No, I thought it was 8, but yeah, it might be 7.
It was a lot, point. It was quite a
Neither's good. Neither is good.
Right, yeah, it doesn't make it better that they kicked the extra point compared to, going for the 2-point conversion. But yeah, it just didn't have a good feeling about this. And I understand it's easier to say that after the fact, but I mean, he has these tendencies to give up the gopher balls. He's at Coors, even if the team's bad, it's still.
And then
Coors.
the Dodger series, the starting pitching. I mean, Nick was great, and then he lost.
Nothing you do that.
And then the Cutter game kind of sucked, but
5 homers for him. Yeah, don't think we forgot about you.
I mean, that's like obviously an anomaly. So whatever. And he had been so fucking good his last 2 starts.
Yeah, that's true.
Which made it hurt a little more, but also it was like, he was due to have a clunker.
But again, like you mentioned, this is why we have the Yankees coming into town.
Yeah, the slump buster Yankees, famously. Garrett Cole stinking up the joint.
That's such a good narrative. You just walk Judge, walk Soto, and then Verdugo grounds into a double play. That's 2 outs right there.
Yeah, I would not throw a real strike in a close game to either Judge or at any point in the game. Like I wouldn't intentionally walk them, but I do that. The like don't throw a strike kind of thing. See if they can chase. See if they take swings because Fitz, it's not a narrative anymore. It's just literally the truth. They have 2 guys on that roster.
You know who agrees with you?
Juan Soto, one of the guys himself.
He said it.
One of the 2 guys.
What can we get the specific quote of what he said? It was something along the lines of like, "We can't win this with 2 guys."
He said.
Good radio.
I lost it. I don't know, but he agreed. Yeah, who was saying it? It was the pitcher on the Mets, formerly on the Yankees. Saved me.
It's going to take more than 2 guys to go to win the world. It's going to take more than 2 guys to go to the World Series and win it.
I love that. That's such a fuck you to all his teammates, but they all suck, so you can say that. If you're Juan Soto and your OPS is like 1,000, and I don't think anybody on the Yankees other than him and Judge has an OPS over like 750, then you could say that.
Remember those? I forget the name of the content creator, but the guy who would reenact LeBron in the locker room after the Cavs would lose a finals game. And, Amon Shumpert wouldn't do anything.
Yes.
And like Kevin Love, and it's like, "You're trash. You're all trash."
Yeah.
And LeBron, that's Juan Soto in that moment. Maybe not
Good.
as colorful.
He should say it. He should say it. That team stinks, and like I said, we're gonna bust our slump against them, Fitz. That's what I think.
Look at you. You asked originally, is it over? Not by the sounds of that answer.
Yeah.
Not to keep piling on Verdugo, but it has been funny over the last couple of weeks to see the Yankee fans that I do follow gradually start to kind of turn.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Sorry. It's been funny to see Yankee fans kind of start to turn the other way on him. After being like, I cannot believe they let us get Alex Verdugo to just like man, they're getting the full experience just in 1 year.
His
entire Doogie experience.
His Savant page is so funny. It's basically all terrible except his fielding is okay broadly. Not in Baltimore though. I'll tell you that. But for some reason, all of his like command of the strike zone percentiles are great, like squared up percentage, chase rate, whiff percentage, K percentage, and walk percentage are all really good. But he just doesn't do anything with that ability. I guess like I guess he knows where the strike zone is. That's cool. His bat speed is 8th percentile. Not great.
Not doing any damage with it. So like this weekend, as I mentioned that we're missing Cole. Get
who we
Nestor
got?
Friday
He stinks. Cool.
against Bayo.
Um,
So these two having a mid-off.
yeah.
Strowman Saturday against Cutter.
Yeah. Yep.
Strowman's been good, but
He doesn't move me, and he's fucking annoying.
and he doesn't miss out. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys. Is his other thing? You know what I mean? So if you're able to get some contact on him, you might be able to do something. And then Carlos Rodon Sunday, who does not move me whatsoever.
No, he actually sucks.
4.42 ERA is actually better than what I thought Rodon had. I was gonna say like 4.70 for him. That's what I probably would have guessed. But he's at like 4.40.
Two
Doesn't matter
lefties
because
though.
Hauk's still gonna pitch in.
Not ideal.
Yeah, I suppose you're right there. But again, if one of them's bad and the other one is tweeting how no one believes in them, and he's definitely not mad, we didn't talk
He's never
about
been
that
mad.
nastiness.
He's never been mad.
Please don't put in the newspaper that Nestor Cortez is mad. I know you mentioned that they are the gangbusters, or the slump busters, rather. Gangbusters, again, I said it. That'll be the name of the episode, Gangbusters on Lansdowne.
Sure.
But, I mean, again, this is... I don't want to sound too overconfident, but again, it's another winnable series here to take 2 or 3.
I think the Yankees are actually a bad team. I'll say it once. I'll say it again.
I don't think they're a bad team.
No, I don't think they're a good team.
Do I think they're a good team? That's a peculiar question there. I think they're a good team.
Gonna get resident Yankee fan Jake's mom. Gonna get her on for about 30 seconds of analysis. How's that sound?
That absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
all
good.
right.
Mama Wallinger?
She'll be in a sec.
Just ask her if they're a good team.
All right, she's.
I mean,
on her way.
they're about 20 games over 500.
So to
dude.
be
I think
fair,
they're a good team.
to be fair, I don't think she knows. Hey, born and raised Manhattan. They're her team. But I'm not sure how up to date she is. All right, Mom, come on in. Where are you? It's okay that I look like Yeah. It's an audio format.
I mean, there is a video component to it because it gets recorded.
All right. Mom, here's the AirPod. Mom, this is Fitz, our co-host Fitz.
Hello.
Hi.
How
All right,
you
so-
doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, Mom, we have a Yankees Red Sox this weekend. Starts
Yes.
Friday. What do you think? What's your prediction?
Unfortunately, the Yankees usually do not fare well against the Red Sox. So,
She knows ball.
Interesting. Yeah, you do know ball.
So even though I would love to say, oh, we're going to, do well, I don't think we will.
All right.
I love it.
So,
That's
what do
a
you
great
think? Maybe
prediction.
you think Red Sox win 2? Red Sox sweep? You can't predict a sweep. That's
No, I'm going to say 2 to 1.
okay.
That's
2 to
fair.
1 Red Sox.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you think the Yankees are a good team?
I think the Yankees are a very good team.
Oh,
But
I wouldn't say very. I'd say good. I think they're a good team.
I think that personally, I think they rely on Judge too much because
yeah. We were just saying the Judge and Soto.
Did
They
you
have
guys
two
just say that?
Yeah, they have 2
We
guys
did?
on their team. Yeah.
Liam's going to lose his spot on the show, I'm telling you.
But also, if Judge stubs his toe, we're in trouble again. So,
Yeah, very true. That's very true.
That is true.
but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I miss the old Yankees. Put it that way.
The Bronx Bombers,
Yeah.
the fabled Bronx Bombers.
yeah.
Yeah. She's a Jeter head.
I
Ooh,
do love
Jeets.
Jeter.
Yeah.
No
Was
Jeets.
Jeter good on defense?
Yeah, what do you think? Thoughts on that one?
I mean, he had his moments when he went into the
Oh,
stands.
here we
Big
go.
dive. Yeah, okay. I think Liam's safe now. After
Yeah.
that, come on now. I'm just
I
teasing.
said he had his moments.
He does,
All right.
the
All right.
jump
He had his
throws
moments,
and everything, the
but-
jump man.
Better with the bat.
Yeah, that's what I. So, yes,
All right.
he was a good hitter, and he's cute.
Jeets. There it is.
Yeah, Jeets.
Yes.
Round of applause.
Fitz,
there.
any more
That's good
questions
analysis.
for my lovely mother?
I think that's it. I
I
think
think
that
that's
covered
it.
all the bases.
I think that was great, Mom.
You've had enough of me.
No, I
I-
thought you were our
You're on
Yankee Yankee correspondent.
Okay. Well, thank you very much
All
for my
right.
moment, and enjoy the rest of your podcast.
All right. Thank you.
Mama Wallinger, everyone. There you go.
All right. Hey, yeah. Yay.
Very nice woman. I just met her there. I haven't met her in person. She's lucky I didn't pull out that total zone rating on Jeets.
Yeah.
Defensive run saved.
The UZR.
Oh, man. So, no. Shout out to Demadre. Do we want to take a quick break?
Yes, we'll come back. We'll talk some AC.
Absolutely. Our manager. And I don't know if you're that happy about that, Mr. Jake.
We'll get there.
Back after this. Paul Not Lansdowne is back. Jake and Fitz, and potentially Jake's mom, again, down the line. Again, if she has any more takes, the floor is hers. I would say so. She can always come on the pod.
She's always got a spot.
Gotta get my mom on the pod one of these times.
Mama Fitz?
Yep.
Sure.
Love her. I mean, Billy
love our
needs
moms.
to be on the
We love our
on the
moms.
podcast too. Shout out Billy, Padre, Alex Cora,
Yeah.
though. Shout out
yeah,
Alex
right,
Cora.
yeah.
He's all of our collective dads. Hello, my daddy. Hello, my daddy. Hello, my manager daddy. Hello, what's up? Hello, what's up?
Fitz, I got the terms right here, my friend.
3 years, about 21 in total.
Yeah, 21 and change. So about 7+ a year. 21.75 million dollars. For 3 years, that will make Alex Cora the second highest paid manager in the game, right after one Craig Counsell of the Chicago
Council
Cubs.
makes what, like 10, I think.
Counsell makes a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not 10. I think he
not-
makes...
Well, if he's just right behind, it wouldn't make sense for Cora to take like $3 million, like that much of a pay cut compared to Council. It's not a pay cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you would think it's closer. That's what.
Okay, yeah. Council's was 5 years, 40 million. So he makes 8. So but there's more term.
Okay,
as
that makes
well.
that makes more sense. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes more sense. I gotta say, overwhelmingly, for the most part, positive reaction on the timeline. Now, again, Twitter is its own thing. It's a echo chamber, whatever you want to call it. It's not public opinion. It's not indicative of the entire public opinion, I should say. With that said, anecdotally speaking, 90-ish% of the reactions that I've seen to this news today, Wednesday, the 24th, as we record this, positive of it. And then there's one reply of Patrick Bateman sweating looking at the business card of Paul Allen from Twitter user @JakeWallinger, which makes me imply...
The leader of ISIS. The leader of ISIS.
He founded ISIS. He is the founder.
Yeah,
He
that's
founded
me.
ISIS. It was you. And if you know the context of that, Patrick Bateman's not happy in that scene.
So, all right, let me explain myself. First and foremost, well, more than anything, I'll say this: I was so surprised that this happened now.
Oh, I thought he was gone.
Yeah, so more than anything, I couldn't believe. I mean, maybe I foresaw like he reaches free agency and we keep him kind of thing. Like he talks to other teams, gets a lay of the land, comes back to the Sox. But him extending in season was not on my radar whatsoever. The way he had talked, I thought they had completely shelved it. So I was that passing tweet came in and I was like, whoa, like out of nowhere. I thought people were eyeballing because we were going to sign James Paxton. Like Carabas, Jared tweeted the eyeball emojis, and it was like an hour after Heyman, I think, was saying that it's likely that Paxton comes to us. And I was like, oh, I don't know if 3 eyeball emojis is James Paxton worthy, but
I can't
sure.
speak for Jared, but I don't think he would stoop to the level of using the eyeball emojis for James Paxton in the big 2024.
Yeah, so I want to get that out of the way. I was completely taken by this news, but where am I at? I certainly have my qualms with Alex.
Listen,
but I
that's
guess
my wife you're talking about, all right?
Right.
Watch your mouth.
Sorry. But I guess from a organizational standpoint, I fully understand why this had to happen. And that's good. Like I'm good with that aspect of it. The consistency, the players obviously do like every player not named Alex Verdugo seems to have a lovely relationship.
That's a huge
with
part
Alex.
of it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And he pisses me the fuck off a lot with some in-game stuff. Mainly bullpen management, and his obsession with splits for his batters.
The Monty Burns effect.
But I don't think he's like an idiot. Of course, I'm hypercritical. And of course, I'm backtracking everything bad I've said now that he's locked in for 3 more years. But I guess I'm seeing the light a little bit. The grass isn't always greener. We could end up with Aaron Boone could be our manager. It's not so. I'll take the good with the bad, and it does give me hope as far as Cora staying that they're ready to rock as far as shelling out some cash or making some trades. It's coming now. Finally, we've waited 3 years.
Yeah.
Because he could have, not literally anywhere, but he certainly could have had his pick and gotten a bag while he's at it this offseason. So I don't know what Craig said to him, but it certainly worked. And I'll tell you what, it's just nice to see Craig and him not clearly hate each other like him and Heim did. So there's that too. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Ultimately, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
And that's the huge part. That's another huge part of it for me, right? We had at least the reading of a tumultuous relationship, a touchy relationship between Bloom and Cora during Bloom's tenure here. You can always read into the tea leaves like that, but at the end of the day, the money talks. And the fact that Cora's ready to re-up with this front office, with this guy driving the ship in the front office with Breslow, I think that says a lot. And you take that with the fact that, like you had mentioned, he seems to keep a positive clubhouse environment, holds guys accountable when they need to be held accountable, lifts them up when they need to be lifted up. Bayo, a good example of that from this year, kind of said, hey, Bayo can't be doing this shit on the mound after he gets into a bind, but still is ready to back him. That's the makings of a good manager right there. And then you have the mind melt with the front office. Just feels like everyone's rowing in the same direction here, which is positive vibes. Now, even if they don't make the playoffs this year, of course that'll be disappointing at this stage of the game, given how well the first half of the year went. But even then, you could still go into 25 and beyond over these next handful of years. At least 3, it sounds like. Who knows, he could get fired halfway through the fucking 25 season. I can't read the future. I don't have a crystal ball, Jake. But
no, you don't.
At the very least, this shows a willingness and a belief that everyone is, again, rowing in the same direction. And you need that from the organization from top to bottom, especially with the youngsters coming up and hopefully starting this new era of basketball.
I was going to point to, whenever the big 3 may arrive, you can't overstate how important it is to have sort of a nucleus of a manager that's been around the block, along with they'll have kind of this younger, like the Devers, Duran.
We're vets at this point.
Casas, yeah, it'll be useful that these guys all have spent several years together, and then this new blood kind of
show them the ropes.
Yeah.
That continuity.
The continuity. That's a great word.
People believe in the project. People are buying into it.
Good for free agents too to see like, hey,
right? It's not going to be this shaky ship. Like a year in, they're going to change everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's bad too. For your Meyer or Teal or Anthony, for anyone coming up, if they're ready to make the impact, and then it's a totally different manager who. Even the vets on the team, like a Devers or a Duran or a Hauk, whoever it might be, if they're not as familiar, everyone's figuring it out together. Again, and I think you said it, I think you nailed I think you nailed it on the head by saying that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. We don't, it's, of course, the platooning stuff can kind of make you go, what? It makes you scratch your head sometimes with them. The bullpen management, there are questions to be had there. I think those are all valid, like you had mentioned. But in 2024, in this modern age of baseball, if a manager can keep the clubhouse together, positive, one unit together, and also be on the same page as the front office. I think those are, in a way, even more important than your I don't want to say monotonous or small, but the day-to-day managing of, okay, do we, do we pinch run a guy here or something like that? Obviously, that's important for a manager. I don't want to get that twisted. But those other aspects, the stuff that doesn't happen in between the lines, are incredibly important too. And with this contract extension, it seems like the Red Sox believe in that as well. And I just saw a spider, and it just scared the shit out of me. I wasn't expecting it.
You want to get it? You want to stomp it out?
I thought it was a daddy long legs. I think it may have just been like a piece of lint or something like that. Like
okay.
Like that, you know what I mean? But I kind of looked over, and it was like, I thought it was on my hand for a second. I'm fine.
You don't even need to come up there. I'll drive there right now.
If you heard a vocal inflection towards the end of that, that's what it was. Like if I sounded
You're
like
trying
David,
to stay calm.
If I sounded like David Byrne in Talking Heads, it's because I thought I saw a spider on my hand. So yeah, shout out AC, get in the bag.
Yeah, I think we've. I don't know what else really. I mean, he's been their manager for 6 years now. There's not a ton new to say about it. Well, 6 years.
4 technically.
Well, yeah, with an intermission there.
For Renegade Ron.
No, 5. Wait, what? 18, 19.
Ron Renegade.
This is the 18, 19, 21, 22, 23. He's in his 6th year.
It's still essentially the same. He was like he's kind of like Palpatine in the back, like for episode 9, like somehow Korra returned, but he was still pulling the strings. Because everyone loves an episode 9 reference. I've learned that over the last couple of years.
AC. I'm happy for him, I guess. I'll come around. I don't know. If he dropped the obsession with lefty-righty splits, because bullpens are fickle, that's like, I could get over that. The lefty-righty thing is so consistently upsetting to me. And it's going to hurt when, like, how all of our top prospects are lefties, so I'm going to have to deal with this for another year. But that's all right.
Permission to have do we have anything else Red Sox related to talk about?
No.
Well, permission for an extra fuck with for the week.
Oh, of course, Fitz.
I'm fucking with the fact that Boston is not hosting the 2024 Olympics starting on Friday. God.
Sure.
Man, oh man, oh man. I got the juices flowing again on the timeline talking about this.
I know. I'm not as I guess privy to the. I wasn't living in Boston when this was when it was being
kicked around.
I wasn't even living in Massachusetts when this was going on. So I don't know. I wasn't in the discourse about it back then, but yeah, I mean,
our fearless leader Dan was right that there should be improvements to the tee, and there should be
NIMBY Mopena was out in full force.
Yeah,
today.
definitely. Yeah, no.
He was.
Yeah, we're gonna have the opening ceremony at Gillette.
Affordable housing.
Yeah. No.
Fitz was like, not in my town.
You're also, you're not going to get any assistance from the IOC doing that, the International Olympic Committee. You're not going to get any help on that front. And B, you're asking Massachusetts, notably very slow at building anything. They build a birdhouse that takes them 5 years, folks. Am I right?
Folks.
Folks. Yeah, you want to have this massive overhaul of your public transportation system where it's like not dated back to the early 90s, and then you also want to add like 20,000 or units for like 20,000 like affordable housing down the line from there, and you want to do that within 7 years. Now you'd say, Fitz, it was 2016 when they started the bid, but the games are in 24. That's 8 years. Wrong, because they award the bid 7 years before the games actually happen. So 7 years to do that. Color me skeptical that Massachusetts was ever going to get that done. Ever.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with.
And I agree. The team needs an overhaul and stuff like that. It would have been a good opportunity to potentially do that. It just the logistics. When you think more about it, it wouldn't have made any sense. Could you have imagined the traffic? Boston traffic in the summer as is, plus fans from I was going to say hundreds, but it's like probably about 190-ish countries participate in the Summer Games, give or take, every time they roll around. Dozens upon dozens of countries. Many dozens. Hell, baker's dozens, if you wanted to break it down like that. Athletes from all those countries, their supporters, their staff, their families, broadcast crews, my God, like the broadcasting for all of that. And you're going to have beach volleyball and, like, fucking Squantum.
Yeah.
Squantum. Are you familiar enough with Squantum? You're not a Quincy head.
Not at all. I mean,
Squantum,
I know what it is.
Squantum literally has 1 lane in, 1 lane out, and they were kicking around the idea of doing beach volleyball there. The 3rd of July in Squantum, it looks like a war zone. They could barely get that done, and that's just a bunch of fucking people from Quincy getting together and day drinking. And they want to have an Olympic event there.
God, Fitz, you really do get worked up about this. That wasn't a bit at all on Twitter.
It had been laying dormant for years.
For 8 years.
And not to say, listen,
finally...
pie in the sky, like, I'm a huge Olympics guy. Love the Olympics.
The Summer Olympics don't move me, but I love the Winter Olympics.
I love both. I don't discriminate one way or the other.
Okay, I do.
Fitzy
Write that down.
Over here.
Put that... I do.
I discriminate Jake Wallinger on July 24th.
Really small asterisks about the Olympics.
In preference of the Winter Olympics over the Summer Games. But no, I love them both. Missy Mo and I, we will watch as much as we can, whatever they roll around.
Sophie is a fucking... goes bananas for the opening ceremony.
Big opening
ceremony.
I'm
saying you love the Olympics. Yeah.
Yes! That's how they come down. Dude, they're doing the opening ceremony this year on the big river in Paris.
Yeah.
I think it's the Seine.
What?
Senne, I think is how you spell it. I don't know. The Seine? Like... Some Francophile.
Yeah, Seine. I don't know how to say it, though. Oh, here, hold on. I have the little thing. Seine? Yeah, it's on the... They're going to bring them all in boats. It's going to be sick. But no, I love the opening, closing ceremonies. I love all the... I personally am more of a fan of the Summer Games, just a bit. I used to run cross-country, used to run track, so I have an appreciation for that. Swimming is always great. That's what they call. Is that something I have to beep, or is that? No, God,
okay,
no.
I don't know.
No.
If we get yelled at, yell at Jake, the guy who said that he discriminates, not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But any event. But no, I love the Olympics, and I'm actually I try to keep up with like the bid process of like where it's going to be held in the future.
Yeah, Salt Lake 2034 dropped today.
Yep.
I'll be there. I'm going to that.
So Alex and I said the same thing about going to Paris in 24. It is tough, dude. It is.
Well, then
really,
you got
really
married
tough.
and stuff.
Man, I guess that was kind of a...
Also, this is not international, is the other thing.
LA in 28, I would love to try to do that.
I have no fucking interest in driving around Los Angeles during the Olympics.
Jake,
I can't even imagine.
I think they're going to have baseball.
Fitz, I can't even imagine the traffic for the Los Angeles Olympics.
The Pot on Lansdowne media pass for Olympic baseball in LA? Baseball?
Maybe let's get one for like minor league baseball first. We'll move on up.
What are your credentials? We went to one Portland Sea Dogs game. We drew our own media passes and we snuck into the dugout to do one.
I am 12 sign from I am media.
Yeah, but hey, it's 4 years away, man. We make it happen.
Anyway, that's my. Want to talk politics?
Not particularly.
No. When I said anyway, I was reminded of the way for the last month when Biden loses his train of thought, he'll ramble for 30 seconds and then just go, anyway.
Listen, he's just like me.
Like he isn't delivering a giant speech in front of millions or something.
With the president of Blinko Stan.
Yeah. Well, today.
Yeah. So, in any event.
Is he the president of Blingo Stan? He's
Prime Minister of Blingo Stan.
I believe his name is Mr. Blingo of Blingo Stan. I'm not sure what his title was, though.
Yeah, what is the government of Blingo Stan? Is it full, totalitarian dictatorship?
See. Is there a Smiling Friends wiki? Oh, there is. Great.
Has to be.
There'll
be a Pot on Lansdowne wiki Give it.
Oh, he's the prime
minister
prime minister of Blingostan.
Gotcha. I see.
Yeah.
So, House of Commons, House of Lords kind of deal.
Yeah.
In Blingostan potentially.
Mr. Blingo.
The upper chamber and the lower chamber of their legislative branch. Eternal ally to the United States.
Eternal ally to the. We could do a deep dive on the inner workings of the Blingostan government in the off season.
You know what? I'm doing it right now. Adding it to the off-season list.
All right. We'll just do a Smiling Friends lore episode.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Yeah, all encompassing.
Should be like a bonus episode if we ever have a Patreon. That's where these musings should all go. We should shorten up these episodes. Keep it all Red Sox. Keep those fans at bay. And if you want to hear these musings, give us $5. $5 a month. You can hear us talk about Olympic host cities and whatnot, which I can.
I've thought about a Patreon for us, but I think I'd be more sad seeing like the $5 a month we have to split 3 ways come in. Like then,
that clip from that really old Mickey Mouse cartoon where they have to like cut the piece of bread where it's like translucent. That's us.
It's us in one. We splitting a $5 bill in 3 ways.
And then money goes to StreamYard so I can actually store this and like
maybe when we hit 3,000 on Twitter, we'll open a Patreon.
Probably not.
Or an OnlyFans.
That too. Now that
OnlyFans. We've talked about this.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Sell shirts that say OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
They'll age out in like a year.
I don't know, man.
Not that OnlyFans will age out in a year, just like the novelty of owning an OnlyFans shirt.
Oh, sure.
The novelty would wear off, I suppose, but
that's all I got, Fitz.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Fitz, are you having a brat summer?
I would say more than the average bear. I'm definitely getting some lime green with black font on.
Okay.
365 Party Girl.
Yeah.
Bumping that. Things of that nature.
Are you so Julia?
That's right. Von Dutch.
Yeah.
Called classic. Still pop. Von Dutch is my
Still
favorite
pop.
song,
The album came out a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. Still playing this one. An oldie but a goodie.
And, well, in this age, like you're not in on something like within a month.
It moves fast.
Right? I feel like I just got in on Shabuzi and I might have already missed that train.
Yeah.
Shout out Shabuzi though. But no, Brat's a really good album. Big fan of that. So, how about you? You having a Brat summer?
No,
I
wish.
If only.
Yeah, if only.
Maybe New York would be more nightlife.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. She lives there, I think.
Charlie,
yeah.
XCX, the very same.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about Brat an hour and 8 minutes, and I think that's time to wrap it up. That'll be it for this edition of Pod on Lansdowne. We appreciate you listening to us each and every week, including this one. It's been a blast. So, for Liam and Parts Unknown, for Jake, I'm Fitz. You're you. We'll talk to you next week. And for Jake's mom, how could I? My apologies.
That's okay.
To Mama Longer.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was upset about the Jeter musings, so right. I think that's maybe why I had her out of sight, out of mind there. So no, but shout out to Mama Longer. So for her, for Liam, for Jake, I'm me. You're you. We will talk to you next week. Until then, go Sox and obey your mother.
Finishing it out this week. Obey your mother.
That was like a deep, like, it's a tenor, is what you're like. So what's a real?
I can do it again. Can we do it again?
Absolutely. If it's like that,
obey your mother.
I gotta be honest. I think I liked the first one more. But
okay, that's fine. Well, you know what? We can tell us in the replies which you like better.